Guess what day it is? It's tube day. Got to get this off the stand so I can tune this thing up. Plan is to bring this to work because every machine I service, I clean up. Try and make it look better than new. So anyway, 1/2 inch, 13 millimeter. And let's hope this tire comes right out. The rim comes out. We know the tire's going to come out. I mean, technically I can tube this tire. Still on the machine. But kind of not. So let's see if I can get this mamma jamma off. Yep. Alright. Actually slid right on. Not too shabby. That was actually a lot easier than I thought. Now you guys are going to laugh because I hate tubing tires. I'm going to do this one in real time because you guys know I tried time lapse. So as you guys know, I'm a late bloomer to tubing tires. I say that over and over again. I just never had a good experience doing them. I'm getting better. That's not great. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my dikes and I'm cutting the inside of the valve stem. Because we will never need that. Now, you guys have seen me tube tires, or maybe you haven't, where the inside kind of just disappears and rips off inside the tire and I never pull it out. That's fine. I'll pull that out and we're good to go. I'm going to take our tube from Mission Automotive and we're going to put it in. I need to stretch this a little bit. Don't ask me why. I always start with the valve stem first. And we're going to peek it through. My favorite Milwaukee vice grips. Okay, where'd my lube go? And they use lots of lube. Don't ask me why. Just to try and make things go quicker. I'm just going to work my way around. Now this one might be easy because it's a big tire compared to the smaller ones that I do. But I still hate it. And I'm literally like just stuffing it in and working its way around. You guys are good to go. That's actually not bad. I'll be very honest with you. No, looking back at it now, the first time, I remember I stopped tubing tires. The first time I tried tubing tires, I destroyed both tubes. And I lost like $25 because I was just getting tubes at the repair shop. I was just trying to be a nice guy. And then they figured out what I did. I don't go to that repair shop anymore. I do everything online. That was one repair shop that I got banned from. Another one I got banned from was that I think it's actually kind of messed up. This guy came in with a complaint, and it was the same repair shop too, but two different machines. I'll do the easy story first. One guy dropped off an Echo backpack blower, had running issues, had it there for 2 weeks. Called the guy, yeah, we'll get to it. And he's like, you know what, we have landscapers that come first, yada, yada, yada. Which I guess that's like the right but the wrong answer, you know what I mean? You should value your customer no matter who they are. I mean, obviously if, you feel you can push that customer off just a little bit, I mean, you're going to run that risk. But when the guy's calling you, then like OSHIT, press ahead. Money's money no matter how you make it. So anyway, nothing happened. And he said, so anyway, the guy with the Echo backpack blower was really, really mad. Went to the repair shop and took the blower back. But the guy's like, oh, let me try something. Now, he said all he did was literally take out his screwdriver, and he did something. He didn't know any better. He charged the guy $125. He was pissed, but he had no choice, so he paid it. Hold on, let me just inflate this. Okay, so this tire calls for 20 PSI. And I'm going to put it up to 20. We're good to go. Let me disconnect the hose. So anyway, same story. So I ended up doing some other work for him, and he ended up calling that repair shop, cursing the guy out, just because he was just, I guess, in one of those moods. Now, I order parts from this warehouse, from this shop. So, when you use the street that I live on, it's not that hard to figure out who that is. Especially when I order certain things. Especially like I used to order worm gears from them for the auger housing. The guy used to be like, especially one time my wife went to go pick it up, like he thought my wife was going to do the repair. Don't ask me why. And he's like, oh, don't plan on talking to your husband this weekend. It's going to be a long, difficult job. And she says, just remember to bring it when he can't do it. What kind of jerk says that? So anyway, I fixed it anyway. Then another instance was Snowblower, that the guy had issues with the belts coming off. Okay? That was his specific complaint for the repair. And the guy charged him a couple $100. Okay? And the problem still existed. So, called the guy to complain because he did the repair at the end of the year, and then the new year came. He didn't use the machine, and the guy told him you're out of warranty. Just kind of messed up. So he brought it to me, and I fixed that too. I don't remember what the repair was. I have to check my files. I can tell you something that's really, really stupid. Or whatever he said they repaired. Yeah, it was something stupid, that's right. It was a spring. Like I said, I have to check my notes. I keep notes. That's how I fact check these things. Trust nobody. Not even me. Now let's get this baby over here. Now, first time off the jack stand, let's review this machine. This is a white outdoor, 8.5 horsepower Tecumseh, 26-inch wide, 2-stage snowblower. This is a really, really nice machine. My 929 is the first one that 928, we had power steering. And that's what really kind of started our snow removal and PATTAY'S performance. We'll touch about that maybe at a later date and time. But anyway, just beautiful machine. Once you modify the impeller, 50, 60 feet, no problem. I know that for a fact because my other snowblower freaking holes it. Love it. Great machine. This one doesn't have power steering. It has heated hand grips. I'll take power steering any day of the week. Nonetheless, back to the machine. 26-inch wide. You have your serrated augers, okay, with spacers. That's what you get for your MTD made machine. MTD does make this machine. This is not a white brand. This is rebranded. Okay, 4 separate augers. You have provisions for drift cutters. Here is your clear out tool. Okay, nice and wide. Dual wear skid shoes. Now when I tune up this machine, I'm actually going to pull the skid shoes forward. So you see that? That doesn't happen. The skid shoe will take the brunt of the blow, not the housing. That's the weakest point on any of these machines. Okay? Beautiful. Love this. This machine with a modified impeller is a perfect candidate for a snow cab. Look at this. Side to side, joystick shoot control, up and down. Now, little tech tip. If you have a snowblower of this design and this is missing, they didn't make them like this originally. See, it's starting to bow out a little bit. If you don't have this bolt in here, this starts to stretch and you're going to need to replace this assembly. Mine came with the provisions to do this, but it wasn't there. I had to drill a hole and put a nut in there. Just for some food for thought. Okay, these are a nice Polar Track 15x5-6 rated tires. Not my favorite, but they're nice. Look at this. You can see a little padding on here. And you could slide tire chains right through here. If you guys know, I really love V-grooved tires. Okay. Now this machine has your heated hand grips, which are here and here, which also means the machine has a stator, and you would know that because it also has a light. Now, very traditional, 6-speed forward, 2 reverse. Another common problem with these machines is over time this bends and it won't lock into place. So what you do is, it really sucks. You have to take this out, put it on the vise, and bend it back. You cannot bend this while still on the machine. Not happening. Now, this machine should have auger lock, 110%. So let's see if we can do that. Is it? Yep. See, look, one hand and both are down. So that leaves you with one free hand to accurately and efficiently throw snow, which this machine can definitely do. Built-in shear pin holder. What else? That's it. And let me see, the adjustments on the cables are pretty simple. You just move this from this to here, and the same thing goes on the other side. That's how you really adjust these cables. Really can't do much with them. They're the hand grips. Alright, let's talk about the engine. We could date this machine because it has a Tecumseh on there. And that's not a bad thing. I love Tecumsehs, but they went out of business in 2008. But as you guys see, if you guys look at modern snowblowers, same exact layout, just a different engine. Technology really hasn't changed much, which is a good thing. Parts are readily available. Here's our dipstick, our electric start. These are infamous to go loose. This machine has not, so you can tell the kind of wear on this machine, which is almost virtually none. This is our traditional gas tank. This is the wires for the stator. There is no inline fuel shut-off valve, no big deal. Your electric start. the pull start, primer, throttle, choke, and our key. This is a flat. There are no overhead valves. It's flat. It's a flatty. So that means you have to pull this cover off, pull the muffler off, and there's going to be a port in there where you release the springs and you have to grind the valves down. It's not, like I said, not the end of the world. You have to pull the engine apart. It happens over time. The valves just stretch. So, carburetor. Carburetor is non-adjustable on these. The jet is fixed, as well as the idle circuit. If you want to convert this to an adjustable idle circuit, you just put a spring on there. This is an 8.5 horsepower engine. Therefore, it should be an HMSK like 85 or something. Okay, so they have it differently. LH318SA. But like I said, just a beautiful engine. And we put a brand new carburetor on here. So this thing should fire right up. Even though we had it on its hot in the services. With that being said, I'm going to let it run for a little bit so we can warm up the oil and we can change it. One last thing. That means the handles are collapsible. Alright, so dipstick out. I'll set that aside. I'll just put that right in my drain pan. Next up is, let's drain the oil. Now my garage has a step, so it's kind of elevated, so I kind of like that. So the drain pan sits a little low underneath. Oh great, I need vice grips. This came right off. Just let it flow out. Nice and hot. Let that drain out all the way. And the reason why I pull a dipstick out is it kind of releases, pressure and it's more free flowing, kind of like a Juicy Juice. Remember the Juicy Juice cans as a kid? You put one hole on one side and one hole on the other. It just kind of flows out more fluidly at an increased rate because you're chugging it. Did I just date myself? Now what I like to do is make sure it all comes out. Just like the tip of that. I'm not going to bore you. I'll let it drain all the way out. So, it's drained, right? Nice and easy. So, just put this on my hand. Just make it snug. That's that. So, this is a really cool sheet that they have online. I had to print it out, and my wife laminated it for me. See? It's from 2017. Perks of marrying a kindergarten teacher. So this has everything. All your models, ml and ounces for your capacities. Old school, new school. So we're new school. LH31SA is 26 ounces of 5W30 oil of your choice. Now here at PATTAY'S Performance, we exclusively use Royal Purple for snowblowers and cars, stuff like that. Lawnmowers, not really, because it's whatever. Snowblowers are worth a lot more money. I'm not going to explain to you why. I've probably repeated it like a dead horse, but it's just an amazing oil. You can even go on YouTube and see some really good videos about it as well. Like I said, this machine calls for 26 ounces of oil. Another reason I like to do it in my driveway is I like to believe that it is a flat surface, and Home Depot has a can. I use a paint cup that measures in ounces. So that makes it real easy. Okay. Nice little long hole. Down the hatch we go. Some royal purple goodness. Now, if you all know Tecumseh's, right, even if the oil runs a little bit low, the rod likes to say peekaboo and go through the side of the block. So royal purple will definitely help with that. Here we go. And down the hatch she goes. Alright, so we're going to thread the dipstick in, and honestly I'm going to leave it like this. We're going to not check it just yet, because remember I said the machine ran out of gas, which is perfect, because that means when I tip it up on its side to grease and service and check everything, I don't have to worry about gas falling out the front. So just keep that in mind. If you do have a tank full of gas, put a plastic cap, put a plastic bag between the cup and the fuel cap, okay, and clamp the fuel line from the tank to the carb, because the carb is going to leak gas. And then if you clamp the line, once it runs out of gas, it will not be consistently flowing out the carburetor in the service position. So we're going to keep it that way. So let's get this thing in the service position. Get our mat. Alright. Protect the bucket. Lift it up right in the handles. Here we are. This is your service position. Ooh, wah, wee, and wow. So we got to grease the machine. And part of it is pulling off the wheels, because you just have to. Because one day you're going to have to pull off the wheels for an actual repair or maintenance, because your clutch is going to wear, right? If you don't do this step, the wheels are going to be frozen to the shaft, and you're going to be in a world of trouble. Not a world of trouble, but, you know, a simple task is going to be a lot harder. Now, we've spoken about this before on my channel. Okay? What do you put on the axle shafts? Anti-seize, grease, doesn't matter. I like grease. Because over time, grease over time really shouldn't hard up, because we're doing this every year. Anti-seize over time does harden up. And it's also a little messy. Grease, not so much. And I use chassis grease. So if you do this step every year, you will be fine. 3/8 bolts, we're going to remove the cover. Pull this out. Just like my Craftsman. Oh, beautiful. This is your auger belt. It's cogged. A nice, beautiful touch. Here's your sprocket for your drive. Here is your friction disc. I like to call it a clutch. Here's your drive plate. I like to call this a flywheel, so people understand. It's not terminology. This needs to be greased here. This has never been greased. It's nice and dry. And yeah, that's it. And your auger belt is here as well. Your adjustments and springs. This thing only has 1 speed in reverse, so we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to make the adjustment up here. Alright, so let's get greasing. Alright, so I have my pneumatic grease gun. Nothing crazy. Just a couple squirts. And we're going to work that around. And same thing on this axle. Okay. Inside here on the sprocket, I just like to do along the gears. Okay, and just a shot on the sprocket itself. Now it becomes a little messy because you have to work the grease in with your finger to make sure you get it in. Spin it round and round. Okay, now what you need to do is also you need to shift gears through your snowblower so the friction gets the push can move. See that? And now you just go to the other side. Round and round. Here we are at the axle. Smush this around. And I just like to stick the grease inside that hole because that's where the screw goes. And you take this sleeve, you spin it, stick your hand in there, stick it back. Okay? Same thing on this side, but the plastic piece actually came out. That's fine. Remember, pack that grease inside that hole. Slide that back in there. And if you feel you have any excess grease, good, hold on. Sorry about that. One of my neighbors dropped this off for repair. So, another video for another day. So anyway, everything's greased. Let me disconnect my hose. Still have to fix that leak. Probably going to be saying that for quite some time. Oh, and where is the spacer? Spacer comes on. As you stick it in, just rotate it. Just rotate it. Make sure we work it in. And then here comes the wheel. This wheel can only go on one way. So even if you choose not to put it on the correct way, it won't go on that way. Because it's keyed, per se. It's slotted. Pressure on the other tire, same thing. Work its way in. And you just let the grease, see that? Slides right in. Take our bolt with the washer. Now remember, you don't really need to put anti-seize because remember, we packed those threads with grease. See what I did there? Do you see what I did there? And the same thing for the other side, right? So we're just saving time, keeping things moving. We'll torque the wheels now. I'm not saying torque, tighten them. That's it. It's a snowblower, not a car tire. So I'm just checking the washer. That's how I know if it's tight. Because I don't want to snap one of these. Don't ask me how I know. And now here, watch the sprocket. Now we got the tires on. I'm just going to spin it. Okay, you see the excess grease on the side. You put it right back in the sprocket. Spin, spin, spin. And that covers all our adjustments on the inside of the machine. Because there really isn't much else to do on the inside. It's very, very simple. We'll put our belly pan cover on. That. And what I like to do, you already know, anti-seize. Because don't forget, we only use this thing in the winter. In wet conditions. So, and this is at the lowest point of the machine. So please, use anti-seize. Save you some trouble later. Now the cool thing about Milwaukee, right, it's just belly pan bolts. I'm going to switch it to 1. That's it. See that? It stops on its own. Bam. Bam. Done. And now remember, because there is no gas in it, everything is nice and easy. So let's get this back down. Now what we also need to do is we need to adjust the skid shoes, right? But before we do that, we have to make sure tire pressure is even. It's kind of like when you align a car. So on the side of the tire, it'll tell you what it needs to be. So I just have this fancy schmancy digital gauge. You don't have to be fancy schmancy, but just 20 pounds. That's what it calls for. Do not overinflate it. If you want to underinflate it, go for it. You know, they say underinflated tires, you have better traction. I run mine at full setting. Full pressure, never a problem. But also remember that I have tire chains. And you don't. And you should. I love tire chains. Let's put our cap back on. And time to adjust the skid shoes. Now, are these a 1/2 inch too? Yes, it does. So it's universal. So remember, I'm going to pull these skid shoes forward so the machine doesn't take a beating anymore. So let's do that, and then we'll talk about my measuring device on skid shoes. This is a carriage bolt, so I'm supporting it from the inside, holding it as I'm loosening it up. Okay, so let's put that there. See that? And see now the skid shoes stick further out than the machine. And the machine will now take the beating. The skid shoe will now take the beating instead of the auger housing. You can thank me later. A little tech tip. Now I'm making it just a little snug because we still need to adjust. And what's good for one side is good for the other. I'm not going to show you that. Now you really can't see because it's getting a little dark out. This is a paint stick. See this here? This is how much snow there's going to be left on the ground. If you want a little bit skinnier than that, by all means go for it. I don't do that. So because the skid shoe is... Nope, gotta loosen it up a little bit. Okay, if you have everything down to the max, per se, you're going to wear out your scraper bar. And if you don't pay attention, right, you're going to wear out your auger housing. And like I said, you're taking on a simple job, you're going to make it more complicated. And if I practice what I preach, right, you guys know, I have never replaced the scraper bar in any of my machines. And I go commercial. I do more than I have. If you want to go down to the ground, get a single stage. But that's not necessary. Snow removal, get majority of it out. And that's really it. If you wanted to go, I'll show you what we're going to do to the auger housing. Right? Well, these have spacers, so the spacers are in good shape. You don't have to spin the augers while you're greasing them. Right? There's really nothing we could do. We're just going to shoot from the inside. Everything is. Come on, guy. It's like a WD-40, like a rust bug. We'll shake everything. Kind of works it in, and we're good to go. Next step is spark plug. We're going to end up regapping this plug because it's in fantastic shape. I guarantee it. No need to replace it, even though it's an RJ19LM. So get your 13/16 socket, stick it on right there. I'm going to take this off. Now here's a cool tip. When you winterize your machine, you're supposed to pull a spark plug, shoot some oil down the hole and leave it. Look at this plug. This plug is great. I'm going to check the gap on it and I'll be right back. So here's your spark plug. Here's your spark plug gapper. Between 0.25 and 0.30 is where it needs to be. I'm sorry, 0.030, 0.25. So let's see where we're at. I'm going to stick that in there. Okay, it's a little loose, 0.30. It's a little loose too. So I'm just going to give it just a little turn. Just a little crank. Okay. 0.25, a little loose still. 0.30, not happening. But now we're good to go. So what I also like to do too, is because seafoam is a cleaning agent, even though it's going to smoke a little, I can pour a little seafoam down the spark plug hole. Okay. Loosen up the carbon, right? Because we know there is going to be carbon. And just a little bit of anti-seize on the threads. So remember, two like metals. Let that sit for a little bit. Next, we're going to pull the belt cover and check the belts. So you got 2 3/8 here, and on the other side, here, and here. The sheet. And away we go. Now, no adjustment even needed on the belt. Really. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, you know to adjust your belts, right? If you have complaints, it doesn't throw as far as it should. You see that? This thing is nice and tight. Yeah, this is perfect. That's it. I'm gonna put it all back together. So the only thing left to do now is we need to fix the driver string. So put these on. I'm rushing you guys because I'm running out of daylight. So this machine doesn't have 2 speeds reverse, it just has one. R1 is forward. So as you can see, as we go forward, this goes down. And as we go higher up, right, we lose that. So that's what we need to do. We need to push this up a little bit more. So what is that? Usually like a 7/16 and 3/8, so 10 millimeters. Something. Okay, so it's 11 millimeter and 7/16. Or one or the other. You're going to need 2 of them. So we're just loosening it. Alright, and we need this to go up. Oh, that's right. The 10 millimeter is for this mamma jamma right here. See that? Okay. And you see how I'm pulling this up? Okay. And now we're just going to tighten it. And the same thing too. Now, we gotta put some gas in it, and we gotta confirm that we're right. Well, we're out of gas, remember? Fire in the hole. Okay. We gotta go a little bit more. That was not enough. Am I doing this wrong? Maybe I am. Alright, so it's dark, and I can't make noise anymore. It's our noise ordinance. So I shouldn't show you guys the transmission, but it works, because my camera died. So now what I'm doing is I'm just checking the oil. Okay. I'm just going to wipe it. Check it one more time. Because the engine was running, right? Remember that? And then also, because it has seafoam in the valve cover, and it's going to be a little smoky, which is fine. It just means the seafoam's doing its job. Don't worry about it. Just cleaning up all that carbon in the head. We're making a good attempt. So here we are. See, when you check the dipstick, you have to thread it in. We're actually a little low. That's why you check. Alright? That's it guys. I'm going to finish this up. Got to haul this onto the truck before it gets pitch black out. Anyway, this Tecumseh is done. Going to polish it up, drop it off, on to the next one. Alright guys, if you guys found this video helpful, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and guess what? See you guys on the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Don't forget, questions, comments, concerns, drop it right in the comment section. Things that I've used will also be in the description. Don't forget to check me out on Insta. Later. Alright guys, it's getting dark out. I'm going to finish this up with that, you guys. I'm just going to top off the oil. I got to put it back on Mandingo. And that's it. This will show you how to tune up basically almost any snowblower. Concept is still the same. Changing the oil, greasing it, checking gap. Okay. Adjusting belts if needed. Alright. So if you guys found this video helpful, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and guess what? See you guys on the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Later.